Hey, this is Matt. I'm going to be quickly just showing you how we build out our conversation AI bots. And this is a very simple example, um, as I'll be mentioning probably a lot through this quick tutorial, but it's just to give you an idea of what you could be doing and what's possible, right? Um, to start off with any workflow, we have a trigger. So a trigger is something like, example here, a Facebook lead form. So if we had Facebook ads with a lead form, someone fills out their information, maybe the ad's about a property you're selling, it's like, hey, they're interested, they type in their information, then the AI can begin a conversation with them, right? So here, this is an example of a text message, right? That would be going out once they filled out that form. And um, basically, the whole concept of the conversation AI is, the AI asks a question and it's looking for an answer. And really, it also has a goal, right? And you set these all up in the prompt in additional instructions. You could, of course, edit personality. I do both. Usually we do custom values for um, the instruction prompt, but also for the personality prompt. But again, this is just a sample, so I kind of wanted to show you guys both ways of doing it. So if you turn this off here, this is basically going to have your, um, if you have a, an AI agent that's kind of managing everything, then you leave this off and they're going to be managing this and you can have that trained on whatever, right? But how I build out conversation AI bots is really each bot and each stage is its own um, AI bot that has its own goal, right? Because in real estate, for example, we've got acquisition and we have disposition. So you're going to have, someone who is on the acquisition side, um, that bot has a much different goal than a dispo bot. So it's going to be trained, the personality is going to be different. Um, and it's, depending if that acquisition bot is, doing cold outreach or are they, responding to someone who submitted a form on a landing page. There's different scenarios that disposition bot is going to be in, and I train them to be individual bots that are handling certain types of clients, and they have different personalities, they have different goals. Same with disposition. Like let's say this right here is a disposition bot, and if someone filled out the Facebook lead form, they get this text and it's going to say, hey, thank you for filling out our Facebook form regarding our property. Here's a link to the location. Let me know if you have questions. This bot's going to be specifically trained on this property that this ad is for. So in the custom values, that's where you're going to be putting those details for the property. So it knows, it can answer anyone's questions about the property, saving um, you and everyone so much time. Here is a timeout. So let's say we send out that text, we don't hear anything for a day, right? Basically, they would come down into the timeout branch. And then we have an email that sends to them, about the property that they just filled out. Then we'll wait maybe a couple days, give them a ringless voicemail that just says, hey, saw that you filled out a form about such and such property, look, trying to get in touch with you, see if you have any questions, things like that. And keep building this out as long as you possibly can, right? Because it's just, you basically, uh, I'm always on the side of marketing is about and not ors, right? It's about and, so we are hitting them up with text messaging and email and ringless voicemail and cold calling and. So we are that's my philosophy because it's there's always going to be more channels. There's always going to be um, new ways to be reaching out to people, right? So, and people always respond to different channels differently. Like some people might not answer to text at all. They might just answer to emails, or maybe they deal with the phone. Um, that's that's the reason for really building out some nice long automations, and then having different nurture automations, right? Like for example, on the acquisition side, um, we don't want to, we have maybe like initial outreach or initial conversations, and then depending on how those conversations go, they go into different nurturing workflows. Like let's say someone is interested in selling, but we couldn't agree on price. They're going in a workflow that's specific for that maybe situation. Or maybe it's just a simple like, hey, this person not quite ready to sell or whatever, they need family's permission. You can put them in a 2 month, 6 month workflow where you'll be hitting them up months from now, but you're still going to be in front of them because the whole idea here is maybe the deal doesn't work out now, but maybe a deal works out 3, 6, 12 months from now. So that's the purpose of having those nurturing workflows, because you never really want leads to be forgotten. Um, and if whenever someone is ready to sell, you want them to think of you, and so you just want to constantly be in front of them. Um, Now, let's say they answered this text, yeah, let's book a call. It goes to the appointment booking bot, and the appointment booking bot basically has access to your calendar, which we make calendars that are much like Calendly, right? Very same features, lots of um, different types of calendars too. Round robin calendars or service based calendars. Um, Nonetheless, we get the AI, the appointment booking bot is really specifically just to be booking on the calendar. So the conversation AI here answers questions, chats up the customers, handles objection handling, much better than humans do, to be honest. But um, here, the appointment booking bot is really just specifically booking an appointment. And then I always, depending on how you want the bot to be behaving, right? Like, let's say you want the bot to maybe not really necessarily book the appointment for you. Maybe it just sends a link to your calendar, right? And then the user can choose an appointment. Or maybe the bot, you want it to display all of your open time slots for the next day that are available, or maybe book, 2 days later. Don't let there's a lot of different ways that you can um, train the AI bot to book the appointments, because I've noticed, it seems a bit unnatural for someone to sit there and you know send out a bunch of different time slots that are available. Whereas I think it's more natural just saying, hey, give an AI prompt, saying, hey, um, just offer, see what time works best for the client. Because usually when, like if we're talking here with the potential buyer, um, they're probably ready to talk today, right? So it'd be like, oh no, I'm available in the next few hours. It's like, okay, you want to prompt the AI to be able to handle those types of requests, because a lot of times, if you're, well, that, and you also have to make sure that the calendar is the settings allows your AI to actually book those time slots. Um, so, if you have a competing calendar that says, hey, I'm not available on these times, and the AI bot, let's say the potential buyer here, you know, they're saying they're free at those times that you aren't available, it can it just kind of starts a loop, especially if you told the AI not to mention any other times or things like that. So, um, Definitely, customize the book AI booking bot, but you just got to be conscious of how that actually matches up with your calendars and how that um, matches up with your AI and what you're trying to accomplish here. The other thing is, well, once you get an appointment booked, there's another workflow that just is an appointment reminder. Like, let's say they schedule an appointment for tomorrow, an hour before the call. I'll be like, hey, so and so, just reminding you that we have our call in an hour. Look forward to talking. That's it. It's a nice reminder, um, it, so that you increase the callback rates, right? You increase the people actually showing up for the phone calls. Now let's say they're like, I'm not really interested in the property. I'm good, thanks. Well, it goes back to this conversation AI bot. So this AI basically can't accomplish its goal in like 3 tries or something. It will push it off to just like, okay, you tried, failed, move on to your next branch. And with this one, we have a different AI because it's asking basically a different question, right? Because now it's like, okay, they are interested in this property. So now what? Well, we have other properties maybe in the area, and maybe we want to see if they're interested in those properties because they might not know about them, right? So that's what this bot is just trying to see. All right, well, let's just continue the conversation, see if there's any other properties this person might be interested in, um, and go from there, right? Now, with that said, because I recommend having different workflows for every different property. You can have this AI trained like just a list of different properties and locations that it can send. But I don't recommend having one AI trained on all the properties because it really increases the chance of the AI getting confused. They like humans get confused, AI can get confused and be sending out details about a property that's actually from a different property. And mostly that's just honestly it's because AI it'll lie, it doesn't know how to really say I don't know or I can't do that, right? It's going to try to still accomplish its goal. So you can have basically what they're calling kind of phantom messages, right? Just that are kind of not true. um, which is again why I focus on making the AI bots very as simple as possible, but as the instructions are as clear and I don't want to say like the more instructions you give it, the more likelihood it gets confused. It's more so as long as the instructions are prompted in a way that allows them to um, actually process those instructions, and a lot of that's just kind of the way that you are you have the prompt organized, you highlight things that are more important, stuff like that. That all helps the AI to clearly understand what you're trying to do. If you just copy and paste a giant paragraph of just instructions, that's where you start to see confusion and errors and things like that. But yeah, anyway, okay, so this is a quick overview on how we set up a lead qualifying bot, right? Trigger, conversation. I always try to get like let's say it's on the acquisition side and you're trying to see if this is a serious motivated seller, right? For us, we have different criteria for that. It's one, they're willing to sell. Okay. Two, maybe they answer a couple questions about their property. And so that would maybe be 3 conversation bots, right? One, are you interested in selling? Two, okay, can you tell me details about the property? Like, and maybe it's like, hey, why are you interested in selling? Just getting a couple different details from the seller helps us understand that they are pretty motivated. We could even, I've done, on a scale to 1 to 5, 1 being not in a hurry, 5 being in a big hurry, how soon are you looking to close? Things like that. You could totally ask those things, and that actually helps AI really gauge, and you can branch out um, uh, those types of answers and really find the true motivated sellers and then get them to go to the appointment booking bot where they are getting on your calendar. Um, all right, so that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. And please hit me up if you have any questions on any AI or automation needs.